Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo, and the NBA is officially back today. All-Star break is over. I did not watch anything for the All-Star break. I don't know about you guys. I had jumped into college basketball, kind of just like impulsively decided to start trying it out, and been having a lot of fun with it. Just kind of didn't really have any desire to check out the All-Star stuff. Definitely wasn't going to be making any slips for any of those events after I looked into it. But we've got just a single game slate for NBA, and then we're going to be back to the grind starting tomorrow with the full slates again. But yeah, we've got the Hornets versus the Lakers tonight. And at first I was just going to put out like 2 plays for this because small slate, a lot of uncertainty, and then started looking into it, and we've got like a little bit of clarity actually with some of these guys like LeBron and Mark Williams and whatnot. So ended up actually making a 4-man. Thought I would just share this with you guys. So yeah, here's what I'm going to be going with. I decided to go with Josh Green over 8 points and assists. He's guard for the Charlotte Hornets. Rui Hachimura, forward for the Lakers, 20.5 points, rebounds, taking that for more. Then Miles Bridges, forward for the Charlotte Hornets, 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I just want the full PRA for him tonight, taking that for more. And then I'm going to be going Luca Doncic under 41 PRA, who is obviously a forward guard, for, you guys know who Luca is. I'm just trying to mention the positions and the teams. I know for college ball, someone asked me if I could make sure to do that, make it a little easier for you guys. So I'm just trying to mention their positions and their teams. But yeah, if you guys don't mind, do me a favor, like the video, drop me a comment, and we're on our way. We've been cruising towards 1,000 subscribers, and I just really appreciate the support. And it just does so much for the algorithm. Like when you guys like the video and drop me a comment, it just puts me in front of a larger audience. It's been working great. So I really, truly appreciate the support, guys. So yeah, let's talk about it. I decided to start with NBA for the single game slate because it looked like the college board needs to develop a little bit more. So I'm like, cool, let's get some NBA out because I know these plays have been up for a while. There should be plenty to choose from, and there was. So yeah, let's get into it. And then we'll get into some college ball right after. All right, so Josh Green. I was looking at his full PRA. I'm just going, I think I just took his PA, right? Yeah, because it's a 3-point bump for the full PRA. And he just doesn't really get enough rebounds to make it worth it. I think 3 is kind of like, he's capable of getting above 3 rebounds, but it's not often enough for me to think that it's worth it. That's kind of like somewhat of his ceiling right now. And Mark Williams, I believe, is probable. Last I checked. So he's been listed as probable. So if Mark Williams is in there, between him and Miles Bridges, it's not like Josh Green's going to have a ton of opportunities for rebounding the ball. So yeah, if we take a look at the matchup, 12th in points allowed, 24th in assists allowed. He's been kind of getting extra minutes lately just because they're pretty injured. The Hornets have been dealing with a lot of injuries. Trey Mann out for the season, Brandon Miller out for the season, Josh Okogie out. Looks like he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Hopefully he returns sooner than later, but and then Grant Williams out for the season. Mark Williams, game time decision, but everything that I looked up is saying he's been officially listed as probable. So that'll make this game more entertaining if Mark Williams, especially with the drama with the trade, the trade getting rescinded. This should be a lot of fun. Just single game. Wish we had more games tonight, but we'll take it. So yeah, if we take a look at his points assists, he's cleared this in 3 out of his last 5 games, averaging 29.7 minutes a game. 50% from the field, 7.2 attempts, not really doing a whole lot, but we're getting this line at 8. The line opened at 7.5, so that's what Outlier's set to. But if we take a look here though, yeah, 3 out of his last 5, zoom out a little bit more. 8 out of his last 10 games, he's cleared this. If you go to the PRA, It's kind of similar, but it's not as juicy. So we'll go full PRA last 10, 7 out of his last 10. So I don't absolutely hate it, but I would rather, like I said, he's gotten more than 3 rebounds twice out of these last 10 games. Other than that, he's gotten 3 or more, 5 out of his last 10. Other than that, it's 2, 1, or 0. So I'm not going to pay the full 3 rebounds. It just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, the points assists, 8 out of his last 10. One thing I do like here though is over his last 10 games, he's averaging 30 minutes, 1.9 fouls. Again, not shooting the ball very much, but 56% from the field. He's efficient when he takes his shots. 47% from beyond the arc, 3.6 attempts a game, 1.7 made threes, and then 4 potential assists. If you guys have been watching my college videos, I was telling you how awesome Outlier is. I'm always preaching how awesome this app is because I truly believe it. I love this app, but I was telling you it offers a lot more with NBA. So I love little extra stuff you get when you're looking at NBA props on here, because like the potential assists is awesome because you can kind of see, you can make some decisions based off that sometimes. If you're deciding whether or not to just take the points or the points assists, and you come in here and you look at the potential assists and it's like 2 potential assists across the board, you're like, well, yeah, he's not even trying to assist the ball. I love information like that. But in this case, you can see he's got games where, 7 potential assists, 5, 6. So he's trying to facilitate the bump from the regular points attaching the assists is worth it because I can see he's actually trying to facilitate, and then it's just a matter of guys making their shots or not. One thing I'm excited about for this game is he has a great history here. It's absolutely the exact same game. Both times he's matched up. It's kind of funny. So yeah, he went for 15 points, 1 assist last year, and then this year, January 27th, 15 points, 1 assist. So I mean, this is more than double. Actually, we're getting at 8, so this is exactly double in the head-to-head versus the line we're getting. So I love this. I love this play. 8 out of his last 10, both head-to-head matchups, soft matchup for assists, and averaging about 30 minutes a game. There should be plenty of time to get this done. Now, I haven't looked at it yet. Let me just pull it up. I'm gonna say 10 plus on the spread, maybe 12. Ooh, look at that, 12 and a half. So yeah, I figured. I mean, especially because who knows if LaMelo's even going to play. If LaMelo doesn't play, LaMelo's a game time decision. That's one of the biggest bummers of the year. He came out so hot to start. He's a game time decision. And what has happened over the last 3 or 4 years where all these stud players they just can't play a full season. They can't play 75% of their season. These guys are always in and out. So frustrating. And I don't know what's changed, but I know they're implementing more rest days and they're calling it whatever. But I mean, these guys stub their toe and they're like, oh yeah, he's going to be day to day for the next week, or something. It's anyways, I love LaMelo Ball, so I want to see him playing more. But anyways, if LaMelo's out, obviously that's just going to secure more minutes and they're going to need more scoring from Josh Green. And I would like to see him, 6.8 attempts. I'd like to see this game here, 12. Yeah, let's get more of that. That was against Orlando. They got stomped in that game, but I think he's better at scoring than he gets credit for, and he's pretty efficient, averaging 56% from the field. I'd just like to see him being a little bit more aggressive on offense. Maybe we'll get a little bit more of that tonight since he's gone for 15 points in both head-to-heads against the Lakers. But yeah, not a whole lot more to talk about here. We talked about his minutes, keeping it clean, not getting in foul trouble. And then 47% from beyond the arc. Yeah, it's dude, shoot the ball. You're shooting pretty solid. And so, yeah, hopefully we get a little bit more of that from him. Oh yeah, and another thing I like about the NBA version of Outlier, because with the college ball, my guess is there's 350 plus teams in college, which is awesome. I love that, but I just don't think that Outlier has the smooth access to all of the information to be able to show us with that many teams, as we're with the NBA. Also with their matchups, you can go specifically to the position, which I love. So we know 12th in points allowed, 24th in assists allowed. Then we go over to shooting guards and we can take a closer look. Yeah, it's even softer. So 20th in points allowed to shooting guards, 25th in assists allowed. I would love it if they could get us this kind of information for college, but for now, I'm grateful that we get it for NBA. Let's take a look at Daily Grind, see what they think about this. Okay, so they love his points over 6.5. Why wouldn't you? He's gone for 15 in both head-to-head, so you could take that if you prefer. 52.63% odds hit the over, minus 131. They like his points rebounds over 9.5. 51.87% odds hit the over. Again, 3-point bump for the rebounds. I just don't get it. I'd rather take the points, but you guys go with your gut. But minus 126, and then DraftKings has it at a 50-50 shot. There's some heavy juice on this, and there's also some, middle of the road, like kind of like, we don't totally know. Points assists, they like to go over. I think the reason that they'd like this less than the points rebounds is because since the gap there with the 3 rebounds, the 3-point bump was already kind of high. I doubt this gets bumped up to 10. Maybe it does. But the points assists have already been bumped from 7.5 to 8. So they're just looking and saying, hey, this hasn't been bumped yet. We like this a little bit better than the points assists, but I still prefer the points assists at 8 over the points rebounds. That's just me. But they have this just slightly favored to the over. 50.04% odds hit the over, minus 120. And then you can see heavy juice on wherever you're getting it at 7.5. BetMGM has it at a minus 130. And then, they don't like the full PRA at 11. But you do have some options here to pivot, and I won't take too much more time with Josh Green here. But if we take a look at his rebounds here, once again, you can see you're paying the full 3 last 10 games. He's only gone over 3 or more, 4 out of his last 10 games. And also the head-to-head, he got 3 like last season, and then last time he matched up, he only got 1. So I don't see the value in attaching the rebounds, but I do see the value in attaching the assists since it's much smaller of a bump. So, all right, let's keep it rolling here. Rui Hachimura. LeBron James, they're going to reevaluate him today. So later on today. So I'm guessing he probably ends up playing. He's been questionable left foot soreness. Doesn't sound too bad. He's been questionable every game for the last 2 years, and then he ends up playing. But Rui's been getting extended minutes here. They have a situation, with not having a super competent center. So I think that Rui does offer a little bit more size at the power forward position, and he can get up there and help rebound, play some defense. So his minutes have been solid. Been averaging 30 minutes a game, and both games with Luca, he was playing around 30 minutes. It's a tough sample size because it's only 2 games with Luca, and both of them were against the same team, against the Jazz. They blew out the Jazz the first matchup, and then the very following matchup, the Jazz blew them out. So try to figure that one out. The Jazz are they're volatile. They're sort of sneaky. I think they're better than their record says. But yeah, I think Rui should go. We also have Max Kleber, who is out tonight, right foot surgery. So, they're going to be running him at power forward. I know he can play center too when they run small ball, but he's going to be playing the 4 with the Lakers a little bit more often. And so that's just going to secure more minutes for Rui, at least for tonight. Let's take a look at the matchup. So overall, 10th in points allowed, 16th in rebounds allowed. Go over to the power forward position. It's much softer on points. 21st in points allowed, 7th in rebounds allowed. Let's take a look at the head-to-head. So he cleared this once last year, and then the only time these are both from last year. So kind of a totally different team, different minutes setup. But although he was right around, just under that 30-minute mark, but he's been a lot more in rhythm lately. 4 out of his last 5 games, he's got this done. Both games with Luca Doncic, we can put him in here. Both games with Luca, we can take a look and see that. Let's go 2024. Yeah, he's cleared this. It was, again, same team playing against the Jazz, so not a big sample size, but he cleared it in both of those games, the 20.5, and then was right around that 30-minute mark. 14.5 attempts. So taking a lot of attempts, shooting great, 55% from the field, 55% from beyond the arc, averaging 3 made threes a game, and then 9.5 rebound chances. He didn't really pull down that many for as many opportunities as he had, but the Jazz are kind of tough. They're actually pretty good at rebounding, pretty gritty. So yeah, I feel good about him getting this done tonight, especially if for some reason we end up not seeing LeBron. But the main thing is Max Kleber being out, I think is just going to secure. I think Rui should be around that 30-minute mark. Just for fun, something else I like to do with NBA that you don't get to do in college is this minutes dial here. If you guys are trying out Outlier, I love this minutes dial. So we know we're wanting the 30 minutes. We're expecting the 30 minutes, so we can go to the 2024 season and just see typically what has he done. I mean, it's a little bit above average, 54% hit rate when he's getting that 30 minutes. Let's see if we can see a minutes mark we want to aim for here. So what happens when it really doesn't fluctuate that much. You probably have to get into pretty high minutes. No, it's kind of staying in that 50, in the 50s. We're hoping to see if we can bump that up to like 70%. Sometimes I'll like adjust the minutes until I see a number that I really like. And then you kind of know like, okay, this is what we're aiming for. Can he hit this many minutes tonight? Helps you make decisions. But in this case, I still feel good about Rui getting this done. 30 minutes, he should be able to get us over that 20.5, especially when he's been shooting, over 50% from the field and beyond the arc lately. So, all right, let's see about daily grind. Okay, so they love his rebounds over 4.5. If you guys prefer that, they have that at a 53.66% odds to hit the over -137. And everyone that has it at 4.5 has it pretty juiced. BetMGM -165. FanDuel -130, DraftKings -125. So there is a lot of heavy juice on that. They like his points over 15.5, 50.87% odds at the over -121. And then let's see, points rebounds. They don't like the points rebounds. So 50.27% odds to hit the under -119. Let's see why they might not like that. So 15.5 points, 4.5. It's because of the 0.5 bump. So the rebounds are at 4.5. Let's take a look at that in case you guys would rather take that. Let's look at his rebounds. We'll go same sample size that we were looking at last 10. So he's cleared the 4.5 rebounds 5 out of his last 10 games, and he had 2 games where he went for 4, so 1 more would have cashed it. So this could easily be 7 out of his last 10. Let's see what he's done in the past. Okay, so yeah, both times he matched up were from last season, but one he went for 4, so 1 more that could have cashed him, and then he went for 5. So it's not like he's been crushing this, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, Mark Williams is probable. Miles Bridges actually tends to play much better with Mark Williams as far as like rebounding and assists. His rebounds and assists go up when Mark Williams is on the floor. I'll show you guys that in just a minute, but this is a tough matchup. 7th in rebounds allowed to power forwards. So I would personally rather have the points rebounds attached together, but you guys go with your gut. The only reason they're not liking it, once again, is if you take his points line at 15.5 and you take the 4.5 rebounds, that adds up to 20. But if you take them together, it's a 0.5 bump. So the optimizer is just not liking that. That's why it's not heavily favored to the under. It's just kind of noticing that. And that's what the optimizer does for you, is it looks for discrepancies. It just basically doing a lot of math, taking all of these lines and these odds from all these platforms and helping you figure out if you're getting a value or not. So yeah, I'm still comfortable with the points rebounds. All right, so Miles Bridges, let's take a look here. So if we look at his last 5, just 2 out of his last 5, I get that, but there's a lot more to this narrative that makes me like this play. Overall, Lakers are 12th in points allowed, 10th in rebounds allowed, 24th in assists allowed. And then if we go over to small forwards, it really loosens up. So 19th in points allowed, 18th in rebounds allowed, 20th in assists allowed. So if we look at the head-to-head, back-to-back head-to-head matchups where he's gone for 38 or more. Interestingly enough, this game here from last season, he had no rebounds, 41 points, 4 assists, no rebounds. But then let's take a look at something else. I just want to show you guys, since we know Mark Williams. Actually, before I jump into that, this looks good too. 7 out of his last 10 games, he's cleared this, even though the last 5 didn't look as good. 2024 season hasn't done it as much, but this team's been kind of like, their identity's been all over the place because their stud players are in and out, and then you got like guys like Brandon Miller going out for the season and whatnot. But so 42% hit rate. But let's look at the games with Mark Williams, since he's probable. So yeah, that immediately jumps up to 53%, 10 out of 19 games in 2024. And a lot of these games just knocking on the door there, in the low 30s. So this is a lot more promising. Now let's say LaMelo Ball is out tonight. So this is what he's done with LaMelo out and Mark Williams in, 71% hit rate. So that's a little bit more encouraging. And then now let's take a look, just in case LaMelo does play. Let's say Mark Williams and LaMelo plays. So that's when it's a little bit more iffy, probably because, LaMelo can do everything. He's gonna cut into a little bit of those points, rebounds, and assists. But we'll see. We'll see if LaMelo ends up playing or if he's on some sort of a minutes restriction if he does play. So yeah, I'm kind of just banking on the fact that he tends to pop off with Mark Williams. Now this is whether or not LaMelo plays. This is just including Mark Williams in the equation. But one thing I really liked about it is like, look at some of these. Like let's just go to his rebounds and assists, because we know the points. We know he's going to be trying to score. But let's look at the rebounds and assists with Mark Williams. And this is what was interesting to me. So let's just say, okay, that his rebounds and assists are at 11.5. He's cleared it 42% of the time, 16 out of 38 games. But then let's go to just games with Mark Williams, and I bet you it looks a lot better. 53%. But this is fascinating. Yeah, like, so his rebounds just start to pop off, and his assists, like 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. Nothing too crazy, but I was just kind of fascinated at the fact that 14 rebounds, 6 assists, 10 and 6, 12 and 8, 9 and 5. That's not me saying I still want his points attached. I just wanted to show you guys the way his rebounds and assists change when Mark Williams is in the equation. I think that's super cool. And I'm guessing Mark Williams helps open up the paint a little bit, and Miles can grab more rebounds, but also I bet you a lot of those assists are to Mark Williams, where he's just attacking the paint and then bounce pass to Mark Williams, who's just going to dunk it or lay it in. So I'm really encouraged at the idea that Mark Williams is probable tonight. And then if we take a look at the head-to-head, like we did a second ago, we know he went for 45-1 with no rebounds. And then more recently, January 27th, he went for 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to throw Mark Williams into the equation. So that was this game. So yeah, he went from 41 points and no rebounds to Mark Williams is in here, 26 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. So yeah, I'm actually really encouraged by this play. Let's take a look at Daily Grind and see what they think. No, that's Miles McBride. I'm like, dang, is that 10.5? Let's just put a B on here so I know I'm looking for Bridges. Okay. So there's not much that they do like. They do like his rebounds over 7. They have it at a 50.9% or 50.09% odds to hit the over, -118. And there's a lot of platforms that have this at 7.5, and that's why the optimizer's liking the 7 flat. There's also FanDuel's got it at 6.5, -142. So you could go with that. They don't like a lot of his. I'm guessing because it's probably a little bit inflated on Prizepicks compared to others, like 32 PRA. They have that favored to the under, 51.82% odds to hit the under, -125. And it's exactly because of the price. A lot more platforms have this at 31.5. There's only one 32.5. So it's looking at all these 31.5s and it's saying 32 is not a value. So it's favoring the under. But again, this is why I like outlier. I lean outlier a little bit more than just the raw odds data, because this, the optimizer is not factoring in what he's done. I know that it's baked into the odds a little bit. These odds makers are going to figure out the stuff that I'm seeing too, but they don't figure out everything. I've had guys mention like, hey, you don't even need to go through the stats and stuff because the odds makers have it all baked in, and they know there's nothing that they don't know. And that's just not true. If you've done any research on sports betting, that's not true. A lot of these odds makers can actually get a little bit lazy and rely on AI, and that you can find an edge by looking at stuff like Mark Williams being in the equation or out of the equation. So I completely disagree that you should just look at the odds and make your decision off that. That's ridiculous to me. So yeah, we've got, there's a lot that they don't like about his, I'm going to go with the PRA at 32. You guys go with your gut though. If you want to just take the rebounds, that's what's favored to go over, or if you want to take the under, that's what the odds are saying, but I'm not. I'm going to go over, because like we said, back-to-back games, he's crushed this in the head-to-head, and then the game with Mark Williams, we saw his rebounds bounce up. So yeah, let's keep it rolling. Luca Doncic. Can't believe I'm taking his under, but it makes perfect sense. I mean, 41.5, that would be huge for Luca. It'd be a great value to take the over if this is prime Luca, but still adjusting to his new team. And the main thing for me, why I'm taking the under now, this is, believe me, going to be a sweat, because he could get this done even on a limited amount of minutes. But his minutes are not going to be there tonight unless they are just completely fooling the public. We have back-to-back games on the dot, just under 24 minutes, since he's been with LA. And they were just easing him back in. I mean, his first game back with Dallas, he played 16 minutes. But yeah, the Lakers are taking it very slowly and carefully with him. The Lakers don't have to rush him in. They're doing well. They're, already in a good spot to make playoffs and have a pretty, avoid the play-in tournament. And they just got this new franchise generational player. I can't believe people who are saying like Dallas won that trade, I'm like, you are out of your mind. Like, you just never move a player like Luca Doncic ever, in my opinion. If I'm the owner of the Mavericks, there's just no way. I don't care what you're offering me. But anyways, they're going to take it easy. And I looked this up too, and they're projecting him around 24 minutes, and that's what he's got in these two games. So as awesome as Luca is, he's still getting fully healthy. And he's went for 23 PRA and 24 PRA in both of his outings so far. So that's the main thing. I know the head-to-head, last time he was playing, he was popping off. But this is not the same year. This is not the same situation, the same team. This was prime Luca. In a totally different situation. So they're taking it easy, and 41.5 is going to be tough to get to, especially with a 12.5 point spread. So the Lakers should be able to get this done, and if they're up by a decent amount, they're not going to just be like, hey, let's just play Luca over the minutes that we've been projecting for him with him nursing this injury, and we want him to get to 100%. It's like, no, dude, they're not going to do that. So as far as the matchup goes, 10th in points allowed, 16th in rebounds allowed, 13th in assists allowed. And then if we go over to the point guard position, it's definitely much softer. 15th in points allowed, 24th in rebounds allowed, 15th in assists allowed. If they happen to run him at the 3 for a little bit, 11th in points allowed, 18th in rebounds allowed, 23rd in assists allowed. So I don't blame you. I don't like taking unders. I just don't like the sweat of it. I don't like the anxiety. And when you don't hit an over, it just feels more forgiving than if you take a guy under and he beats that line. I don't know about you guys, but I'm always just like, oh, why did I do that? They just feel different. But in this case, this is too good of an opportunity for me to pass, knowing that he's probably just going to get 24 minutes, and they do not need him to beat Charlotte. So let's take a look at daily grind. Oh boy, they disagree with me. They like his over. So go with your gut. 51.07% odds hit the over at 41. Did I get it at 41.5? No, at 41. All right, guys. So yeah, you can decide. You don't have to go down this road with me. But I'm taking the under. They've got him favored to the over. 51.07% odds hit the over minus 123. And I think it's because there's a ton of 41.5s. It's not like it's super juiced. But yeah, this is definitely one of those plays where if Luca comes out and just starts popping off and be like, oh yeah, duh, it's Luca. Of course he's going to go over. But I'm taking the under. I'm gonna roll with the narrative here. They like his rebounds over 7 if you want to just avoid the PRA entirely and go with something that you feel a little bit more comfortable with. They like his rebounds over 7. They have it at a 52% flat to the over, minus 126. And you are getting a value there because it's at 7.5 on literally every other platform. Just about there's one 6.5, but you're getting it at 7. They like his rebounds and assists over 14.5. They have it at a 51.17% odds hit the over minus 123. So yeah, they like his points assists under. They like his points rebounds under. And they like those unders better than they like the PRA over. But I really think that this is just a situation where the optimizer is telling you to take the over because of the 0.5 bump, which is why I like going based off of the data, based off of what I know around the narrative. And I just don't see him getting a ton of minutes tonight. But yeah, this will be a sweat, believe me. But so far, both games, he went for 23 and 24 and was like almost identical minutes, 23.6, 23.1 in these games. Let's take a look here. So he's averaging 15.6 attempts over this 5-game stretch. But let me just do something real quick so we can get a more accurate read, because some of that is with his old team. Let's just say with LeBron, so it gives us those. We gotta go back to Rui, because I want to just see the raw numbers for. Oh wait, here's what I have to do. So we'll go Rui, and we'll go just 2024. There, that's the 2 games I want to look at. So 13.5 attempts, shooting 41%. So in these 2 first games, he's averaging 5.5 made buckets, 41%, 7.5 attempts from beyond the arc, and he's averaging 2 made threes a game, 6 rebound chances, and 9 potential assists. So these just do not add up to 41 PRA. So it sounds like I'm trying to convince myself because I don't like taking unders, but I'm going to take a chance on Luca going under. So that's going to cover the 4 plays for today, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm about to dive right into college basketball, so I'll have that video coming to you probably in about an hour. I'm going to really take my time and look for some value because we were 2 assists away from a sweep on college ball last night. And that was 1 from each player. So we're really close to the sweep last night. But yeah, if you guys want to check out this DFS optimizer from Daily Grind, it's an awesome tool. I use it. Sometimes I'll just search plays, see what's looking good value wise. That's what it does. So you have no one in the search bar. It's going to just look for discrepancies. So it's loving Andrew Nembhard. Like, these are not for today, obviously, but loving Andrew Nembhard over 7.5 rebounds and assists, 53.91% odds to the over minus 137. And I think that is just getting an early start on some of these lines that are probably going to get bumped. And you guys let me know in the comments. I'm thinking about making tomorrow's video today too. Well, because you rarely get this many plays this early, like a full day before the slate. So I might put out tomorrow's NBA video today as well and take advantage of these lines being up so early. But yeah, if you guys want to check out the optimizer, use code BACKDOOR. They're going to give you 25% off of your first purchase. You can try it for a month, or you can lock that in for a year if you want to take advantage of the savings. You get 25% off all the way up to a year, and you can use this for NBA, college ball, golf, tennis, NHL, esports. They cover everything, and they cover all these different platforms. So yeah, dgfantasy.com, code BACKDOOR, 25% off. And then my favorite app, Outlier. You can try this one out for free. just sign up through the link below for Outlier, and they're going to give you a week just to check it out, see how you like it. Perfect time to give it a test run. We got NBA back, and we're heavily into college ball right now. So yeah, let me know what you think if you try it out, and make sure you spend some time learning what all these things do. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's like learning anything. It's kind of a lot at first, and then before you know it, you just know it, and you're not really thinking about like, how do I do it? You're just doing it. And I can't say enough about how much I love this app. So go try it out. Get, week free, got nothing to lose. And yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget to like the video, drop me a comment, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit for some college ball.